Today we are diving into a big question. Can the United States stop India and Pakistan from sliding into nuclear war? Well, with tensions rising between the two neighbors, many around the globe are wondering if America, as a global superpower, can step in and prevent disaster. So, let's break it down. Pakistan and India have been rivals since 1947 when they were partitioned into two nations. They have fought three major wars in 1947, in 1965, and 1971, plus a small conflict in Kargil in 1999, and all those terrorist attacks on India. Well, those were informal. The biggest fear today isn't just another conventional war, but a nuclear confrontation. Both countries are nuclear armed. India has about 170 nuclear warheads and Pakistan have about 165. And this is according to Federation of American Scientists. Well, that makes any military clash extremely dangerous for any region and possibly for the entire world. So, where does the US comes in? Recently, US Vice President JD Vance made it very clear that the US will not intervene directly in an India-Pakistan conflict. In an interview with one of the biggest media houses, Vance said that it's none of our business and emphasized that while America will encourage both sides to de-escalate, it cannot force India or Pakistan to lay down their arms. Instead, the US plans to rely on diplomatic channels, urging calm behind the scenes but avoiding direct military involvement. Now, this approach fits perfectly well with Donald Trump's America First foreign policy, which has shifted the US away from acting as a global policeman. We have already seen the Trump administration hint at pulling back from mediating the Russia-Ukraine war, and now it's doing the same with South Asia. But does the US really have the power to stop a nuclear war between the two nations? So, the honest answer is it's complicated. On one hand, the US has enormous influence. It is the world's largest economy with defense budget of over $880 billion. It provides military aid to Pakistan and has deepening security ties with India as well. America also holds sway over global institutions like the United Nations, IMF, and World Bank. Now, in theory, the US could use diplomatic pressure, economic sanction, or even military aid cutoffs to push both the countries towards restraint. Let me give you an example here. After the Kargil conflict in 1999, it was the US President Bill Clinton who intervened and pressurized Pakistan's then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif to withdraw Pakistani forces. Now, that crisis was diffused largely thanks to Washington's behind-the-scene effort. But on the other hand, both India and Pakistan have independent nuclear command systems. They are sovereign states with their own military, political, and national interest. India specifically is unlikely to let any foreign power dictate its defense policies, and Pakistan's military establishment often acts without even consulting civilian leader. In short, the US can actually push, but it cannot control. It's ultimately up to the leaders in Delhi and Islamabad to decide whether to escalate or pull back. Let's also remember, India's military is massive with over 1.4 million active personnel and the fourth largest defense budget in the world, about $73 billion. Pakistan, while really small, has a military that is deeply entrenched into its politics, and even though its economy is on the verge of collapse with inflation hitting nearly 29% and foreign reserves drying up, its army continues to focus on military spending and nurturing terror groups within its soil. But yes, there's another layer to this: nuclear doctrine. India follows a no first use policy, meaning that it promises to use nuclear weapons only in retaliation to the nuclear attack. However, Pakistan has not made such a pledge and has repeatedly hinted at using nuclear weapons even in response to conventional military threats. Now, this asymmetric policy makes the situation even more fragile. So, can the US stop the nuclear war between India and Pakistan? The answer is the US can help, but it cannot guarantee peace. America can act as a diplomatic middleman, rally about world powers like China, Russia, and European nations to apply pressure and offer behind the scene mediation as well. It can also encourage confidence building measures like reopening communication hotlines or restoring military to military contacts. But at the end of the day, only India and Pakistan can decide their fate. As tension rises, the world should recognize one key fact. India has repeatedly shown restraint despite severe provocation, including terrorist attack from Pakistani soil. In the meantime, Pakistan continues to shield terror groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. Instead of playing the victim, Pakistan needs to clean up its own backyard. In the end, the US may be a superpower, but it's not a magic wand. Preventing a nuclear war in South Asia will depend far more on India and Pakistan's choice, and specifically on whether Pakistan stops using terror as a state policy. Until that happens, no amount of US pressure can actually ensure lasting peace.